Okay. So let's have a quick recap what we have discussed in the last session. In the last session, we have just have an introduction about what is AWS DevOps, what are the services which we are going to learn in this particular training, why we are going to work on cloud. Those things we have discussed in our yesterday session. In today's session, we are going to discuss about how we can create our AWS account. And even I have given you the information, if you're going to join this training, what are the things you will get from my side also. So we need to start learning about how we can create our AWS account. But before starting out this one, I'm sharing my Logical Apps team details. So if you have any doubts regarding the training, you can please contact them. And here I'm even sharing a course content link again in the chat box. And I'm going to share a WhatsApp group link. So if you are not in the WhatsApp group of AWS batch 153, you can join a group by using this particular link, which is shared in the chat box. Now, before learning of this today's topic, if anyone have any question, you can please raise your hand. Let's have quick questions and then we'll start discussing about today's topic, how we can create our AWS. Yes, Prasad, you can unmute. Prasad, you have raised your hand to ask your question. You have to unmute.
No, sir.
You don't have any question?
No, sir. I have to listen to that.
Yes, Hemant, you can unmute.
Sir, my query is,
Yes.
can we get these classes without paying fees, payment? And
This is completely a paid training for 3 months. If you want to join this batch, you need to make people.
Okay, sir. Something I heard that is, we can get classes without payment, but without certification.
We have wrong information. It's completely a paid training. Cost of the training is 5,900 rupees.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
So if you want to join this particular batch, you need to make this payment. Without that, we are not going to allow you to join this batch.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Only till demo sessions you can join. After that, we are not going to allow.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone have any question? Yes, Swastik, you can unmute. Swastik, have raised your hand to ask your question. You need to unmute yourself. Swastik, you're on mute. Yes, Sam, you can unmute. Sam, you can unmute yourself. Yes, Lakshmi, you can unmute.
Hi, Ankit.
Hi.
Actually, my question is, like I am from machine learning background. So I would
Okay.
like to know if Azure is better platform or AWS is better platform for machine learning candidates.
No, it's not like that. Both are the same cloud.
Okay.
When both are a very good competitors we have in the market. So you can go with AWS or you can go with Azure. Both are good.
Like, as I
It's
might
not
be
the-
wrong, please correct me, but like Azure is also providing direct machine learning kind of
both the
like
clouds are providing.
Okay.
Both the clouds are providing those things. So it's not like that you need to go with only, you can go with the AWS one or you can go with Azure. You can choose any one, whichever you want to go. Even if you want to go with both, you can go with both also.
Okay. So which one do you think is better, Azure or
I'm working on
AWS?
both the clouds.
So you might not know the
That's why
advantages
I'm
and
saying both are
disadvantages.
good. There is like, now I can't say that AWS is better or Azure is better. I'm working on both the cloud from last 8 years. So I can't say that because I'm familiar with both the clouds.
Okay.
In very much depth, I'm aware of that. So that's why I'm saying both clouds are equal. Okay. The only difference I can say that Azure is cheaper than AWS. That's the thing which I can say that.
Okay.
Okay. Azure is little bit of cheaper than AWS. Okay. But if I talk about the performance and all those things, both are good.
Okay.
Okay.
And today I got to know about a new word. So I would like to know more if you have knowledge about that. AI Ops is Logic Labs also like, is it similar to AI Ops is also similar to AWS Devops or Azure DevOps?
No, I'm not aware of that. What is AI ops?
Okay.
I'm not aware of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So we'll start with our today's topic where we are going to learn about how we can create our AWS account. So first of all, to create your AWS account, you need to go to this particular URL, the URL which I've shared in the PPT. Let me share this particular URL in the chat box also. You all can go to this particular URL, or even you can just search on Google also. aws.amazon.com. You can go to this particular website also. If you go to this particular website, here you have an option of sign in. Click on sign in. Once you click on sign in the below, okay, it's just going to log in my account. Let me first log out my account. Again, I'm going to click on sign in. Now here I'm getting an option to create a new AWS account. So even the URL also which I share, you can directly go to this particular URL, or you can come here, and from here also you can create your AWS account. And to create your AWS account, you just need one email ID, and you can use any email ID. You can use Gmail also, Yahoo, Hotmail, any email ID, whichever you want to use, you can use that. Now, but make sure you're not going to use our official email IDs. Make sure use your personal email IDs to create your AWS account. So you need to enter your email. Once you come to this particular page, you need to enter your email ID. And after entering of your email ID, you need to enter your AWS account name. AWS account name can be any name, whatever the name you want to give to your AWS account, you can give here. But the name, whichever you are giving it, that name needs to be unique globally. Globally means, let's say example, I already have an AWS account. My AWS account name is Ankit Narula 199. This is my AWS account. If some other person is also trying to create AWS account and he's also trying to give the same name, he can't use the same name because the name is already used by me. So you need to give your account name, and the account name needs to be unique. Once you enter your email ID and your account name, you need to click on verify email address. Click on that. Once you click on verify email address, you will get an OTP on your email. That particular OTP you need to enter and then click on verify. To validate your AWS account, you need to click on verify. So with the help of this one, system is going to validate your email ID. Now, once you verify your email ID, you need to enter your password. The password you want to set for your AWS account. And after entering of your password, you need to click on confirm. And do we have any rules and regulations for password? that I need to give minimum 6 character or some numbers? Yes, we have. These are the rules and regulations we need to follow. Minimum password length needs to be 8 characters long, maximum 128. Minimum 8, maximum 128. And out of these 4 things, you need to follow at least 3. Upper letters, lower letters, number, and non-alphanumeric characters. So after these 4, you need to give at least 3 things. So these are the rules you need to follow for your password. And once you enter a password, click on continue. With this, out of those 5 steps, you are going to complete the first step. To create AWS account, there are total 5 steps we need to follow. And this is the first step we are going to complete. We are entering our email ID, validating it, and then we are giving our password. Now, once you enter your password, here it is asking you to select a plan. We have 2 plans here. One is business, other one is personal. We are not doing any business here. This is just for learning purpose. So you always need to select personal option. You always need to select personal option. And here you need to provide your personal details. Your full name, your mobile number, your country, and your address. Address, city, state, postal code. Postal code means PIN code. That one you need to enter. And even if you see here on left hand side, here it is mentioned something called free tier offers. Whenever you are creating your AWS account, you are getting some free tier offers from their side. Free tiers you are getting, so you can practice it. You will not get any bill for that. So regarding this free tier, we will discuss in end of this particular topic, more details. Now, once you enter your personal details, you need to click on continue. So we are going to complete our step 2. Now, next thing. Next thing is you need to enter your card details. You can use credit card also, or you can use debit card also. And it supports only these 4 cards: Visa, Master, Discover, and American Express. In India, few people might be have RuPay card also. A lot of people nowadays, they have RuPay card. AWS does not support RuPay card. So you need to use Visa or Master card. You can, if you have your own, you can use it, or you can ask your any other family member, you can use their card also. Now, next step. Important point here. Whatever the debit card or credit card, whichever you are going to use, make sure that particular card is enabled with international transaction. Because in India, by default, international transactions are disabled. So you need to enable those international transactions to validate your card details. And you don't need to worry, you can validate your card details. They are not going to deduct much rupees, only 2 rupees they are going to deduct. And the 2 rupees also you will get refund in 3 to 5 days. And to enable that particular international transaction, you can check your mobile banking app or your internet banking. With the help of that one, you can enable it. By default, international transactions are disabled. You don't need to enable for thousands of rupees. Just for 10 rupees, you can enable, because they need to deduct 2 rupees. So then you can enter your card details here, expire details, card holder name, CVV, and then click on verify and continue. Once you click on verify and continue, you will get an OTP. So enter that particular OTP here to validate your card details and then click on submit. Now, once you validate your card details, we'll move to the step 4. In step 4, you need to validate your mobile number. To validate your mobile number, we have two options. One is text message, other one is voice call. So select your country code, enter your mobile number, enter the security check, and then whichever the option you want to use, you can use here to validate your mobile number. And then you will get an OTP. That particular OTP you need to enter to validate your mobile number. So enter that particular OTP and then again click on continue. So we have with this, we are going to complete our step 4. Fifth and the last step. Again, it is asking for us to select a support plan. We have selected a personal one. That's why we are getting an option to select support plan as free plan. So here you always need to select basic support free plan. Make sure you're not going to select these plans. Otherwise, this is the minimum bill you will receive from their side. So select a basic support free plan and then click on complete sign. After that, go to AWS Management Console and it is asking for selecting a role and interested in. You can select these details also and then click on submit. Once you click on submit, AWS is going to create your account. Sometimes their account is going to ready within 2 minutes. Very rarely they'll take near about 1 to 2 hours to validate your account. And after that, you will get an email from their side also to log into your account. And in the role, you need to select as personal use, and in interested, you can use as individual option. So you can select those details, click on submit, and when you log in, this is how your account looks like. Here on right hand side, you will see the name whatever you are giving to your AWS account. Unique name in starting of our, we are giving here account name. That particular name you can see on right hand side in the top. You can see that particular name also to validate your account. So with the help of this one, you can identify that you are able to log into your account. Now, coming to the trial subscription. Whenever you are going to create your AWS account, you are getting it some trial subscription, which we have discussed it just few minutes before. Some are always free. Some are for 12 months free. Some are for trial period. So you will get few AWS services which are always free for lifetime. Few services will free only for 12 months from the date of activation of your AWS account. For next 12 months, those particular things are free for 12 months. And few services are coming for trial period. Trial period in the sense means like for 30 days, for 60 days, 90 days, or 45 days, or for 750 hours only. So only for few period of time, that particular service you are getting it for free. How we get information which service is for 12 months free, which services are always free, or which service is for trial period? How we get that particular information? We have that link Here is the link which I have given it. Let me open that particular link. I'm sharing this link in the chat box also with you guys. Scroll down, see here. Type of offers. Free trial, 12 months, always free. Yeah. You can search that particular service name here. And left-hand side, you can see by using tier type also. Or you want to see by using category wise, you can see by using category wise also. I'll go with this tier type. I'm selecting 12 months. Here. EC2, S3, RDS, machine learning, API gateway, open search service. So these are the services which we are getting it for 12 months. And how much quota we are getting it, that particular quota also it is mentioned. For EFS, we have total 5 GB of quota is free. For S3, we have 5 GB quota. For RDS, 750 hours per month we are getting. For EC2, 750 hours per month we are getting. But is 750 hours per month which I am getting, I can use anything here? No. In that one also there is some restrictions. They have given some type. They have given some type. With that particular type, if you are going to use these types, then you will not get a bill. Other than these types, if you are going to use any other type, then you will get a bill from that. And what is this T4G.small? What is this T2.micro, T3.micro? We are going to discuss in our upcoming session. Like here also for RDS, in AWS, we have a service called RDS. There also they have mentioned the types. So if you are using those types, then we will not get any bill. Under 750 hours per month we are. Now I'll go with always free also. Always free doesn't mean that for lifetime we have free. Yes, it is for lifetime. But for few services, we are getting per month quota. For few services, we are getting lifetime that particular quota also from there. Like in AWS, we have a Lambda service. This is always free. And we are getting 1 million requests per month free. For DynamoDB, we have a one database called DynamoDB. In that one, maximum 25 GB of data is completely free of cost for lifetime. We have a service called SNS, Simple Notification Service. In this one, we are getting 1 million requests for lifetime. After 1 million, they are going to charge you for it. And this 1 million requests for lifetime, we are getting not per month. It is not mentioned anywhere per month. For Lambda, 1 million requests are per month free. We are getting. I'll go with trial one also. See, 2 months, 40 hours, 15 days, 8.5 million, 750 hours. So few of the AWS services in AWS we have that is for trial period also. So whatever the service you want to check, you can come here and check that particular service. With the help of this one, you will get information. Is that particular service is coming under your free tier or not? And do we have any option where I can check that how much free quota is pending for this particular month? Yes, we can check that also in our AWS account. That I'm going to show you in our upcoming session. So with the help of this one, we can learn how to check that particular free quota, but we'll see in the upcoming session. So this is how we can create our AWS account. Now, any question anyone have regarding this creation of AWS account or regarding this trial subscriptions offers, please let me know. Yes, Sheikh, you can unmute.
Sorry, apologies, Ankit. Actually, I joined a little bit late due to internet connection issues. So I hope this AWS account creation, it is the same aspect what you taught in the, what do we say, the last AWS Web Services.
Yes, the process is same. There is no change in the
Okay,
even
okay,
you
okay.
have the account, I think
Yeah, yeah.
so. You
No, no,
can
I
use the
have the
same.
account. No, no, I have the account, true. But I joined the class just now, just
But
1
don't
minute
worry,
ago.
don't worry. The process is same. There is no change in the process, the one which you have followed it. And even you have the same account, you can use the same account also.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
not 12 months old account.
So as up till now, you have just completed the account creation.
Just that's one we have created till now. Nothing
Fine,
we
fine,
have done.
fine. Yeah, yeah, true. Thanks, thanks.
Okay. And
Yes.
Sheikh, you have emailed me today also regarding that certificate.
Yes, yes, Ankit.
So are you able to see that?
That's what actually I'm struggling a bit to understand. Even I called the Logics Lab help support also. I mean, where we have to view that
Okay,
certificate?
do one thing. We'll do what we can do is after end of the session, you can do one thing, install a tool called AnyDesk. Okay, or TeamViewer,
Okay.
whichever you feel comfortable. I have both the AnyDesk also in my machine. I have a TeamViewer also. Install it, share the details with me. I'll connect to your system. I'll show you how to do that also.
Any desk. So like
AnyDesk
this.
or TeamViewer, anything.
No, what I'm trying to say. Okay, I'll install this, but the certificate cannot be like emailed to my.
No, you are getting it on your login details. You can just log into our website. In your course, you can see that certificate share.
The Logics Lab, correct? No.
Yes, the from where
Yeah.
you're trying to access your recordings.
Yes, yes. So I went there only, but
Open that course in the below, you will see that certificate. You need to
okay.
open your course. In your course, you will see outside of your course, you will not see the certificate.
Yes, yes. I think I went there only. Okay, no worries. You can continue with this
Try to
session.
do
I'll
that.
try. I'll try.
Try to do that. If you
If
face
any.
any issue, you can share a screenshot. If you're not
Okay,
able
okay.
to see that, or you can install AnyDesk.
Okay, fine.
Whichever you feel comfortable, we can
Yes,
guide
yes,
you with
yes.
that.
You can continue as of now. I'll
Okay.
check.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes, Gopinath. Yes, Gopinath, you can ask your question. Gopinath, I'm not able to hear you. You have already unmuted yourself. Gopinath, looks like you have some issue with your mic. Please resolve, then you can raise your hand. Yes, Ashok.
Yeah, hi Ankit, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Ashok?
Yeah, fine, fine. Actually, I didn't joined yesterday class, and today also I have a little bit late, 5 minutes. Okay, and actually means I jam based on your previous session, that is AWS, I got a lot of confidence. So
You'll get
that's
lot of.
why confidence means.
Okay. Thank
So
you
that's
for your
why,
feedback.
yeah, that's why I have to choose the AWS Devops also. But a little bit confusion means actually I have experience as system admin around 4 to 5 years. Okay,
Okay.
I have experience on Hyper-V and virtual machines. Okay, I can crack the interview on AWS DevOps after that this course a minimum with the 1 year or 2 years experience along with the previous experience.
Definitely, very easily you can clear the interview, and that's why even I'm sharing some interview questions at the end of the training, and even I'm sharing some quiz also at the end of the training. You can attempt those quiz which actually help you to check your knowledge, whatever you have learned. You will get those confidence with that also. Sure.
Okay,
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 and easily you can clear the interview.
okay.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you so much. Yes, yes, sir. You can unmute. Yes, sir. You can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Oh, sorry. Now it's okay, right? Fine.
Yes. Do you have any question?
Yeah. Can you listen
Yes.
now?
Yes, I'm able to hear you.
Yeah. I just want to know, I just understand the AWS DevOps and the Azure DevOps. What is the difference? Because the anyhow going to use tool is the open source, right? So how going to the difference?
Now, first of all, in AWS, we are using Jenkins.
Okay.
In Azure DevOps, we are not using Jenkins because Azure have its own pipeline.
Oh, Azure.
In
Okay.
AWS have its own pipeline also, but
Mhm.
less than 1% clients are using those services which AWS is providing for DevOps. Okay.
Okay.
So we in AWS is purely depend on third-party tools, but we have one service called Kubernetes. To work on Kubernetes, first we need to create that particular service in our platform. So
Okay.
in Azure, we
the
are
both
creating
it's
in
the same,
Azure.
right?
Sorry.
Okay. In the both platforms, the same tool we are going to use, right?
The concept wise it is same, but process is definitely different. In Azure, creation of that
Process
particular
means
service
installation
concept
method.
is different.
Installation method. Process in the
Sorry,
sense the process in the sense it's installation method or something different.
creation of the process is different.
Okay.
Like I'll take example, WhatsApp and Telegram.
Okay.
Both are the same
Yeah.
messaging app, but definitely their look and feel and process is different.
Okay. Also,
Am I
the
right?
view also different, huh? View also different. It's like totally different, like a different brand.
Completely it's different. The look and feel is completely different. So the
Okay.
process is completely different for that. Even
One
in
more
Azure,
question.
yes, sir, I have a request here. Please let me complete my answer first.
Yeah. Tell me.
Okay. Please don't interrupt me in between.
Yeah.
Okay. Because with the help of that, I'm not able to even understand your question also. Let me first complete, then you can continue. Or you
No
want to
worries, no.
continue your question, you can first continue.
Okay, no problem. You can tell it. I'll ask that.
Okay. I'll complete my answer.
Yeah.
Even in this one, we have a tool called Docker. In Docker, what
Okay.
we are doing, yes, sir, we are creating images. And we need to
Okay.
store those images in our cloud platform. So in AWS, we are
Okay.
storing in AWS. In Azure, we are storing in Azure. So that process is
Okay.
also completely different.
Okay.
Concept wise, it is same, but process is different. Now you can
Okay.
continue if you have any more
One
questions.
more question. So during the practical session, so can we do these things in our own lab without the AWS? Because so we cannot use continuously AWS EC2 machines for continuously, right? So there is some timeline is there. So how we can build the same tool with our own Linux machine? For example, I have the test environment in our home. So how can I utilize that?
Now, for everything you can do it, but Kubernetes, for that one, you need to first create that particular service. Other than Kubernetes, you can practice everything in your local machine also.
Okay, how many machines is required? For example, 2-3 machines is enough, or
3 machines we are creating it. We major required 3 machines even, and that's why we are getting 750 hours per month free. After that, when you are not using those machines, you can stop those machines. And when you stop those machines, they are not going to count those 750 hours.
Okay, for all the time we are going to use the 3 machines for the
Depend on requirement to requirement. Yes, sir. I can't say that from day one I'm going to use all 3 machines. No. Depend on the example to example. Whenever we require, even sometime I required 1 machine. If you require 3 machines, if you require 2 machines, we'll go with that. Example to example.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks.
Any more questions? Yes, sir.
Hi, Ankit. This is regarding the question just asked about the certificate.
Okay. What is your question, Salim?
The question, actually, I have an answer for this. To like see the certificate, you need to first complete your Amazon Web Service batch by like on the course like Logic Lab.
No,
you have to go to the courses.
You don't need to complete the full batch. Even if you just watch one single video, automatically system will generate that particular certificate.
Okay, because I did watch the videos, but it's not letting me do it. So I completed the course, then only let us see the download option for the certificate.
No, like what we are doing it, we are changing that option. By default, that option which you are saying, that is correct. But which enable this, we change the option, we change the percentage. After that, system will automatically generate the certificate once you watch the only one single video also.
Okay, because it didn't let me do it.
Might be my team didn't change that option. I'll remind them to change that particular option. Might be they forget.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, Gopinath.
Sir, are you okay now?
Yes, I'm able to do.
Sir, which trial subscription we have to take, sir?
Sorry?
Which trial subscription we have to take, sir?
We don't need to take any subscription here. These are the things we are getting by default in our AWS account whenever we create our AWS account.
Oh, so okay, sir.
Okay, we don't need to take any subscription here.
Okay,
When you
okay.
create account on the spot, you will get few services for 12 months free, few services you are getting for always free.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
Okay. Now moving forward, we are going to start our first AWS service where we are going to discuss about how we can create our EC2 machines. Now, what is EC2? EC2 stands for Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud. In our daily basis, in our daily language, we call it as VM. But in AWS, it is called as EC2. It's a virtual server which we are going to create on Amazon infrastructure. On Amazon infrastructure, when we are creating our own virtual server, that particular virtual server in Amazon, it is called as EC2. And which operating system supports by the Amazon EC2? Here is the full list. I have given it. That system is supporting these type of operating. Amazon Linux, we have Ubuntu, Windows Server, Red Hat, we have Oracle Linux also, we have FreeBSD also, we have Mac also, CentOS. So there are a lot of types of operating system which supports in AWS. Okay. Now, next thing. To create this particular service, what we need to do? We need to first of all log into our AWS account. So let me first log in. Now, I'm able to log into my AWS account. Next thing is, what we need to do is we need to select a region. In which particular region we want to create this particular EC2 machine. Now, if you see here, here's the list of regions which I'm getting. In which particular region I need to create this particular EC2 machine. What are these regions? These are data centers we have. In which particular data center I want to create this particular EC2 machine. That's what we need to first select here. And as per my system, by default is Mumbai one. Might be whenever you're trying to log into your account first time, it will show you as Virginia region. In whichever the region you want to create that particular machine, you can select that particular region. It is mandatory to select a region. Yes, it is mandatory. Because in which particular location I want to create that particular machine, that's we need to select. So here I'm selecting a Mumbai. So it means the EC2 machine which I'm going to create, it is in the Mumbai data center. Next thing. Next thing is we need to select EC2 service. If you see in my account, here I'm able to see in recently visited. I'm able to see in recently visited. But definitely in your account, it is not going to show you as recently visited. So what we can do, we can search here also. We have a search option. See, virtual servers in the cloud. So click on EC2. Next one. Click on instance. In my machine, in my system, you are already able to see 3 machines. But if you see here, all 3 machines are the stopped. It is not working right now. Now, to create this particular machine, we need to click on launch instance. Where we have here on right hand side, we have an option of launch instance. Click here. Now, to create this particular EC2 machine, we need to follow some steps. The first step is we need to give the name to this particular machine. You can give any name, whatever the name you want to give to this particular machine. Let's say I'll give the name as Linux EC2 153. And it is not mandatory to be unique name. You can give any name here. We have. So first step we have completed as we have given the name to our EC2 machine. Scroll down. Second step. Second step is we need to select AMI. Full form is Amazon Machine Image. In our daily basis, what we are calling it as operating system. But in AWS, it is called as AMI. What is AMI? AMI is a template that contains software configuration, operating system, application server, and application required to launch your instance. It means the AMIs which we are having, these are actually templates. In this one, we are getting it blank AMI also. Even we are getting some AMI with pre-installations of softwares also we are getting. But I don't want to use any AMI with pre-installation of software. Whichever you want, you can search here. The search box which we are getting it, in that one you can search. Or even we have an option called browse more AMI. If you want to see more AMIs, you can click on that. Here I'm going to click. Here also I'm getting 4 options. The first one is quick start AMI. Quick start AMI means a shortcuts which they have given, which are very commonly used AMI. Those AMIs they have given in the quick start. Second option is my AMI. If you are creating our own AMI, we can see that particular AMI also. Here we have marketplace AMI. In marketplace AMI, you will see those AMI which are with pre-installation of software. Let's say I'm just going to search one software. We have it called OpenVPN. It is not showing. 63 results. Here I'm see. I'm getting. So we are getting those particular AMIs here with pre-installation of software with third-party company software which is installed. So total we have 8,043 AMIs. The last option is community AMI. The community AMI which are publicly. In this one, we will see some AWS AMI also. And even whenever we are creating our own AMI, in that one, we have an option, we can give a public access to our own AMI. So if anyone is giving that public AMI access, that particular AMI also, we will see in community AMI. That is why it is clearly mentioned, published by anyone. So those one giving your own AMI as a public AMI, that particular AMI, we can see in the community AMI also. But I'm not going to use any community AMI. I want to use the AMI which is coming under launch. Sorry, in quick start. So scroll down. Here I'm getting the list: Amazon Linux, Mac, Ubuntu, Windows, Red Hat. So whichever you want to select, select that particular. I'm selecting Ubuntu. Now when I select Ubuntu, In Ubuntu also we have different version, like 18 version, 22 version, 24 version. We have here. I'm getting these versions. Here. But make sure whenever you're doing practice, you're always selecting that particular AMI where it is clearly mentioned as free tier eligible. Other than that, if you are going to select any other AMI, AWS is going to charge you for it. And even if I talk about in Amazon Linux, here and Amazon Linux also we are getting it free AMIs. I'm not able to see here. Amazon Linux 2023 AMI. This is also coming. In Ubuntu also we have. In Windows also we are getting it free EMIs. See. So always the top one which we are getting it, that one is coming under free tier eligible. So I'm selecting Ubuntu, and which version of Ubuntu I'm going to use? 22.0. So how many steps we have completed? 2 steps. First step, we have given the name to our EC2 machine. Second thing, we have selected our AMI. Next thing. Now, whenever we are purchasing any laptop or a computer, what are the very basic things we are checking? Can you please tell me in the chat box? Very basic things which everyone is checking. What are the very basic things we are checking? Whenever we are purchasing any computer or a laptop, correct, we have got some answer: RAM, CPU, hard disk, storage, and the fourth one is operating system. Very basic. These are the 4 things which everyone is going to check, even a person who is non-technical person also. These are the things everyone is checking: RAM, CPU, hard disk, and operating system. AMI we have already selected because in AWS it is called as AMI. We have already selected as Linux 1 Ubuntu. Now I want to even select RAM, CPU, and hard disk also. First of all, I'll go with the RAM and CPU. I just need 1 CPU and 1 GB of RAM. For this one, what we need to do is we need to select instance type. We need to select the instance type. What is the instance type we are going to select by default? T2.micro. By default in my system, AWS is selecting T2.micro. Why it is selecting? Because T2.micro is coming under free tier eligible. And in this one, how much CPU and RAM I'm getting? 1 CPU, 1 GB of RAM. If I want to select more than that, can I select? Yes, we can select also. Here I'm getting T2.medium, 2 CPU, 4 GB of RAM. This is T3.small. Here I'm getting T3.x large, 4 CPU, 16 GB of RAM. So based on the type to type, AWS has given CPU and RAM here. But what is my requirement? 1 CPU and 1 GB of RAM. And for this one, we are selecting a type called T2.micro. And make sure whenever you're doing practice and you're practicing Mumbai region, you are going to select T2.micro. Now, just few minutes before, I have shared one link also in the chat box with you, where we are getting all the free tier details. Let me open that particular link again. EC2, 750 hours per month. See, type. We in Mumbai region, type is T2.micro. In few regions, the type name is T3.micro. In few regions, you will see T4G small also. It is clearly mentioned, depend on region. Now, whatever the oldest regions we have, In that one, you will find T2.micro, whatever the recently launched region, which I talk about just with after 6 months, before 6 months, which is launched last year or in January month. There you will find T3.micro, and the recently which is launched in this particular year, where you will find T4G dots. So make sure whenever you're doing practice, you are going to select these types. Otherwise, you will get a bill. And you don't need to worry about that. AWS is clearly mentioned that it is coming under free tier, like you can see here. It is clearly mentioned free tier eligible. So you don't need to even check that particularly for EC2 version. Scroll down. Next is key. Now, what is this key pair? Key pair is like a password to us. To connect to this any machine, like this is my Windows machine. Whenever I need to connect to this particular laptop, after turn on, I need to enter the PIN number or the password, whatever I have set, I need to enter that. Same way, after creation of this particular machine, whenever we want to connect to this particular machine, what we need to do that? We need to give this particular key. So I have existing keys also. Can I use existing keys? Yes, if I want, I can use these also. But I'm not going to use this existing key. I'm going to create a new key. So click on create new key. Then give the name. And I'll give the name as Linux 153 -key. Copy, paste, click on create key. Here. So I'm going to store this particular key in our batch 153. Done. So here we are getting that particular key, and what is the extension of this particular key? .pem. PEM file. And this PEM file is a private key. This key we can call it as a private key. You want to select Amazon Linux Ubuntu, you can select anyone. Instance type T2.micro. Create new key pair. Enter the name and click on create. Next step. To connect any Linux machine, it is mandatory to enable some port number. Because just creating a machine, our task is not going to complete. After that, what we need to do? We need to connect to that particular machine. Because without connecting to the machine, how I can install Jenkins? How can I work on Docker? Not possible. So what we need to do? We need to connect to this machine. And to connect to this particular machine, it is mandatory to enable some port number. And which port number we need to enable? The port number is called as SSH. If you scroll down, by default, AWS is enabling that particular port number SSH. And for every port number, for every port, we have one number also. Anyone knows that port number for SSH? Can you please confirm in the chat box? Correct. I got the correct answer. The correct answer is 20. So to connect any Linux machine, we need to enable a port number 22. You can use any Linux. You are using Ubuntu, you are using Amazon Linux, you are using Red Hat. It is mandatory to enable a port number 20. And you can see here, it is mentioned in my PPT also. It is mandatory. Same way, if you want to connect a Windows machine, for Windows machine, we need to enable a port number RDP. Anyone knows the RDP port number? Correct. 333. So to connect Windows machine, RDP port number is required. To connect any Linux machine, SSH port is required. We are not connecting any Windows machine, we are connecting a Linux machine. So for this one, our SSH port needs to be enabled, and that particular port number by default system is enabled. Now, moving forward, I'll come to hard disk. Here we are getting a hard disk by default size, we are getting as 8 GB from their side. This is the by default size we are getting it from AWS size, and this is the minimum requirement for Linux machine. To create any Linux machine, the minimum requirement is 8 GB. How much of free quota we are getting it for per machine? 30 GB. 30 GB of free quota we are getting it from AWS side for each machine we are getting. But how much we are using? We are just using 8 GB. So you can use right now for 8 GB because 8 GB is sufficient for us. Scroll down. Here we have advanced details. We don't need to do anything with advanced details. And in right hand side, here I can have a summary details also. Number of instance. How many machines I need to create? Only one machine. If I want to create 10, I can mention here as 10 also. But I'm just going to create only one machine. Here I'm getting the AMI. Which AMI I'm using? Ubuntu 22.04. Instance type T2.1. Security group, we are creating a security group here. Whenever we are enabling some rules, at that time we are creating a security group. Security group is something like a firewall rules. The rules which I need to enable to work on that particular machine. So that particular rule which we are enabling, and what is the name of my security group? Launch Wizard 8, and it's a default name. Next one. Scroll down. Volume 8 GB, which is we have selected. Click on launch instance. To create this particular machine, we need to click on launch instance. Done. So we are able to create our machine. Now, after creation of this particular machine, is our work completed? No. What we need to do? We need to connect to this particular machine. And to connect to this particular machine, we need to download some softwares. Which software we need? That software are called as terminals. And which tool I'm going to download? I'm going to download Putty and PuttyGen. And from where I can download? And is these tools are completely free of cost? Yes. These tools are completely free of cost. And from where you can download? Here I've given the website details also. Or even if you just search on Google, download Putty, that particular website you are getting at number 2. So I'm sharing this particular website details also in the chat box from where you can download the Putty. Scroll down. We need to download Putty and PuttyGen from the same website. Scroll down. Here I'm getting putty.exe. So as per your system requirement, just click on putty.exe. System is going to download that particular exe file. Scroll down more. Here I'm getting puttygen.exe. Click on puttygen.exe. we are able to download that particular file. So we have downloaded both the tools, and I'm going to put both the tools in our batch 150. Whenever we are downloading any exe file, what we need to do? We need to install that one. Like Google Chrome, I'm using it. I have installed this one. That's why I'm able to use it. Do I need to install these two tools also? No. We don't need to install these tools. I can directly use these tools without installation. Moving forward. What we need to do here, we need to connect to this particular machine. To connect to this particular machine, I'm going to generate a PPK file. Why I need to generate a PPK file by using PuttyGen? Because Putty does not support PEM file. Putty does not support PEM file. So we need to convert that PEM file into PPK file. With the help of PuttyGen, we can convert that PEM file into into PPK. So I'm requesting you to please see my screen very carefully. How I'm going to generate the PEM file into PPK file with the help of PuttyGen. So double click on PuttyGen. The first thing what we need to do is we need to click on load. Here we have a load button. So click on load. So once you click on load, we need to go to batch 153. And if you see here, we are not able to see any file, but in my system, I have few files. Why I'm not able to see any file? Because here system is looking for a file with extension .ppk. But do we have any PPK file in our machine? No. So we need to change this extension from PPK to all files. And now we are able to see. So select your PEM file. Click on open. We are able to load our PEM file. After loading of our PEM file, we need to click on save private key. Click on yes. Now you can give any name to your PPK file. I'm giving same name as my PEM file. So it will be easy for me to recognize the PEM file with the PPK file which I have. This is for this particular PEM file. So I'm using the same. Click on save. Done. So this is how we can generate our PPK file with the help of PuttyGen. You need to click only on two buttons. First load, then click on save private key. Other than that, if you are going to click anywhere, system will generate a wrong type of PPK file. And whenever you try to connect to your EC2 machine, you will get an error message. You will get an error message. So make sure you are following the same process which I have shown. If you want me to show these steps again, you can please confirm in the chat box. I can show you again. Anyone want me to repeat these steps again? Okay. I'm going to repeat again. So double click on PuttyGen. Click on load. Go to your batch 153. Okay, before that, let me do one thing. Let me delete this PPK file. Done. Again, I'm going to open PuttyGen. Click on load. Change the file type from PPK to all files. Select your PEM file. Click on open. Click on OK. Click on save file. Now give the name to your PPK file. I'm giving same name as my temp file. Extension is PPK. Done. Here we are. So here we are able to convert that temp file into PPK. Now, next step. Next step is now I need to connect to this particular machine. To connect to this particular machine, I'm going to select this machine. Click on connect. Go to SSH point. Scroll down. Here we are able to see example. Don't copy the full example. You need to copy from our username called Ubuntu. What is it? Ubuntu. Ubuntu is our username. So copy from Ubuntu till last and open the putty here. It is asking for host name or IP address. In this one, you are going to paste that particular details which we have note down from here. Yeah. We have note down those details. Next step, attaching PPK file with our putty. How we can attach a PPK file with putty? Click on this plus button for SSH. Done. Click on this plus button for auth. Then click on credentials. Once you click on credentials, the first option which we are able to see here you need to select our PPK. So click on browse. This is 131, go to 153 batch. Here I'm getting our PPK. So select a PPK. Click on open. Click on open. Click on accept. And you can see here, we are able to connect to our Linux Ubuntu machine. So this is how we can create our machine and we can connect our machine. Now, any question anyone have regarding the creation or regarding the connecting the machine, you can please raise your hand. Yes, Akshay.
Yeah, Ankit sir, hi.
Hi, Akshay.
Sir, my question was that services which you showed that we were supposed to learn in DevOps batch. So in that, which are all AWS based services? Means all are based AWS based, or that were this open source services?
Let me show you that again. These all are open source services. Okay, these are AWS services.
Okay, so means the open source services we can also try it on on-prem Linux servers.
Yes, you can try there also.
And the method would be the same.
Yes, the process is completely same. And here the Terraform which we are going to learn, we are going to learn with AWS platform. We are not going to go with the on-premises. So the process which I'm going to show for Terraform, that process is different for on-premises.
Okay, sir. Thank you. And one more question, sir. Yes, and one more question. You showed me that for EBS, that Elastic blocks EBS for that.
Yes.
You showed me that 30 GB is free. So
Correct.
that 30 GB is combined for everyone or particular
for one single machine.
Okay. So suppose if we create 4 systems of 8 GB EBS, so will that be on chargeable basis?
For each machine, we are getting maximum 30 GB of share.
Okay, sir. Okay.
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 Yes, Venkatesh.
Sir, in real time, how can we connect the server by using the public IP address?
You can, the same process which I've shown you right now, by using that particular one, you can use by using public IP also. Let me show you that. So once you select your machine, here I'm getting the public IP. Okay. Or you can click on connect, go to instance connect. Here also you're able to see the public. So you can just note down the public IP. Here I'm going to note down. I'm entering a public IP. You can see it is clearly mentioned host name or IP address. After that, I'm going to link my PPK file. Like earlier in the previous example we have done, same way Venkatesh, here also we are going to click on open, click on accept. Now it is asking for username. And what is our username for Ubuntu machine? Ubuntu. Earlier it is not asking for username because the command which we are using earlier, in that particular command, our username is already there. Ubuntu. Okay, Venkatesh?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir. Sir, one more doubt. If the user is not added in the Linux server, the user can't able to log into that server.
If the user is not there, definitely he's not able to log in it. But by default, one user system is creating whenever we are creating a machine, that name is Ubuntu. Our default user for Ubuntu is a default user Ubuntu.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Ramat, you can unmute.
Hi, my question is, public IP can be static or it will be changed?
No, the public IP by default in EC2 machine, which we are getting, that is dynamic.
Dynamic.
So if you stop your machine and start your machine, system is going to change the public IP. You need to note down the public IP address every time.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, Daniel, you can unmute.
So this thing is, I saw that when you were this thing generating, that's the keeper, right? I saw that we have the option of the, I think PPK, but for some reason
we have that option
went
also
with the PEM. So why is it that we didn't use that one and we have to use
the reason why
to confess?
Daniel, the reason why we are not generating a PPK file by using AWS is because whenever we want to connect from one EC2 machine to another EC2 machine, at that time PPK file is not using.
Okay.
And there is no option we can generate a PPK to PEM. From PEM to PPK we can generate. But whenever we want to connect from one EC to another EC2 machine, I can't use PPK files. We need to use PEM file.
Okay.
That's why we are not generating the PPK file directly from our AWS account.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
One more reason. Let's say example, right now I'm using Putty. Okay. Putty does not support PEM file, but in market we have one more terminal called Git Bash. Git Bash does not support PPK. Git Bash support PEM file.
PEM file. Okay.
So if I want to use that one, so I need to use PEM file. And how to connect our machine with Git Bash also, that I'm going to show you in tomorrow's session.
Okay. So that makes sense to me now, why we use the PEM. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Sheikh, you can unmute.
Yeah, Ankit, actually, sorry, nothing related to this session as of now. I got the certificate, okay. I was able to see after login. I saw that, okay. Actually, there is a spelling mistake. I have emailed you.
I'll check after this session. I'll reply.
Yeah, true. It's fine. Actually, it's Kashif, Kashif.
Just send me the correct spellings.
I've emailed you the details. You will.
I'll definitely check after the session, and I'm going to update.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, after your practice, what we need to do here? After your practice, guys, we have an option. If you want, you can stop this machine also, or we can delete this machine also. But I don't need this machine anymore. If I don't need this machine anymore, what we can do is we can terminate this particular machine. And how we can terminate this machine? Select that particular instance first. Click on instance state. Then here we have an option of terminate. We have an option of stop also. Stop means shut down. But terminate means you are going to delete this machine. And once you terminate this machine, if you don't have a backup, you can't recover this particular machine. So I'm going to terminate. Click on done. And that machine is disconnected from my system. So with the help of this one, we can delete this machine. Once we don't need those machines after your practice, we can delete these machines. So make sure after your practice, you can delete these machines also. Any question anyone have now, please let me know. Yes, Sheikh.
Just a quick one actually. So after deleting the machines, okay, for example, if I have created 2-3 machines and I've deleted, okay, and as you have explained previously that for 12 months we have the free what we say quota.
Free
And
quota,
after
yes,
that, yes,
we have.
after that it is chargeable. So
Correct.
if I keep it for 12 months and then afterwards I delete it, so will I be chargeable? I mean to say, sorry.
So per month also you have a 750 hours quota share. If you're going to exceed that for per month also, then also they're going to charge you.
Okay. No, like after 12, I mean like after 12 months, if I don't have any infra created, okay, like machine, etc., whatever.
So they're not going to charge you.
Yeah, that's what I want. An account is there. Account will be there forever. Yeah.
Account will be there. Even we have an option. If you want to delete the account, you can delete account also.
Okay. No. Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm just telling you, we have that option also.
Yeah. Fine.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, Shravan.
Yeah, Ankita, one thing, if I stop the machine and keep it, is that going to be
No, it is not chargeable and they are not counting those 750 hours.
Okay.
Okay.
So instead of terminate, if I want, I can stop the machine and I can keep it.
Yes, you can see here in my system, there are 3 machines which are stopped right now. It doesn't mean they're charging me the 750 hours.
Okay. And one more thing, once if I delete the AWS account, is that able to create the account same and I can get the again 12 months subscription?
You can create with another email ID. I'm not 100% sure, Shravan, that you can create by using same email ID or not. I didn't try that thing. Okay. So I'm not 100% sure you can use same email ID or not, but yeah, you can use a different email ID. Card, you can use the same one. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, Manoj.
Yeah, hi sir. So I have one quick doubt. Can we use the same key pair to launch multiple instances?
Yes, we can. It is possible.
And let's say I have started a mission and I've started using for quite days. And after using some days, if I'll ask the key pair, is there any chance for me to launch the instance without the key pair?
No. You can't connect to this machine if you don't have that PEM file or PPK file.
Then let's say if I have some information on the instance and suddenly if you load the key pair, then how can we able to launch that that instance again?
That particular topic, Manoj, which you're asking, we are covering in our AWS training, not in AWS Devops training.
Oh, fine.
Okay.
Fine.
The topic, if you might be join in our upcoming days, my AWS training, you will understand how we can recover that also.
Good.
Okay.
Thanks.
Anyone have any more questions? Okay. Look like no one has any questions. So with this, I'm going to end the session. In tomorrow's session, the first thing I'm going to teach you how we can connect this particular Linux machine by using Git Bash. And then we'll start with some of the Linux commands. If we time permits, then we'll go with some other topics. Thank you all. Thank you for joining the today's session. See you tomorrow. Have a nice day. Thank you.